Ideas built on virtue signaling and self-righteousness may sound good on paper, but in reality, only affluent and prosperous societies can afford them. For example, if you ask the people of Pakistan or Bangladesh whether their country should donate, you know, millions of dollars to the starving kids of Africa, they would say, "What the hell are you doing? We've got plenty of starving kids in our country. What do you?" They wouldn't care about it, and they wouldn't say that we should open up our borders to poorer countries so they can come and improve their lives and so on. They wouldn't care about that. But the reason why it works in prosperous societies is because if you asked a middle class Spaniard whose life is sorted, everything's okay. They can. I'm not saying that they are living affluently, but they're okay. You know, they're not struggling like the people struggle in the third world. So they left or their compassionate mob comes up with ideals like open borders, let people come in. They're only trying to improve their lives. These are the modern entrepreneurs of our time. They have crossed the seven seas or the rough seas. Let them come in. Most people, like those middle class people, because their lives are not affected, that's why they don't pay any attention to it. So they look the other way. And what happens in the meantime, those lofty ideals become the status quo. And as a result, this happens.
Some say we've gone too far, that we're going against the current. But I would like to ask you, when did recognizing rights become something radical?
Look at him. Doesn't that sound so nice and compassionate? It's like, when does recognizing human rights become radical? Why? That poor guy in Morocco, he's just coming here to improve his life. Why are you being so cruel? Let them come in. See, it's like, oh. The problem is, it worked 20 years ago when you had plenty of middle-class people who had never seen a foreigner, when you had an entire generation that was raised on these lofty ideals that all cultures are the same, human beings are equal, we all bleed red and blah, blah. And, you know, as one of the world's smartest men, Mike Tyson once said that everyone has ideas. He said a plan, but I would enhance that. Everyone has ideas until they get punched in the face. And that's exactly what's happening with people. Let me finish you, because this speech is going to blow up. It's actually literally blowing up in his face less than 3 months later.
When did empathy become something exceptional? Spain is above all a welcoming country. And this is the path we choose: dignity, community, and justice.
So that was Pedro Sanchez less than 3 months ago. He legalized 500,000 illegal migrants in Spain. It was so radical, according to him and according to people who subscribe to his idea, we're just recognizing their human rights. They're human beings. What do you mean they're illegal? Come in, 500,000 people. Here are you, my new Rafael Nadals and Carlos Alcarazes. They are just as Spaniards as anyone else. This idea is being floated around all over the Western world. Dare I say Western world only, and maybe in Japan too, by the way. It has consequences because obviously it ignores the massive elephant in the room. What about their values? What about the values of the people who are coming in? Do they share same values as us? No. This is what happens when people like Pedro Sanchez, and he's not the only one, come up with their radical, faux compassionate principles and policies. Look at this. So this happened in Ceuta. He's speaking in Spanish, so there's no point in playing his audio. He's saying that he is in a restaurant. He's surrounded by all these Moroccan migrants, and everyone inside, they're too afraid to go out because they don't know what's going to happen. That's what happens when people like Pedro Sanchez say, hey, we're just recognizing their human rights. What's wrong with that? Stop being racist. All of these Spaniards are racist now because I don't know how many of them actually thought, look at these kids. I don't know how many of them actually thought, oh, yeah, that's okay. Let them come. Guys, I'm not picking on anyone. I think this is human nature. My bills are being paid. Everything's fine. Why would I rock the boat? Look at this. Why would I rock the boat? Why would I say something that will attract accusations of being racist and whatnot? While we don't say anything, while we are not speaking up, these corrupt, not corrupt, well, they could be corrupt too, but these ideologically retarded politicians with their lofty ideals, they are replacing the existing status quo, which was 15 years ago. The status quo was to protect your freaking borders, but they were erasing that with these new ideas like, hey, they're just all humans. We're all humans. And most of the people at the ground level did not say anything about it. So that's what happens when you don't speak up, when you run into stupid, self-righteous policies. Look at this, guys. Let me show you more. Spain is literally falling apart. Look at this.
This is Sanchez protecting Europe. These are all the migrants who left Ceuta. They're still here. They're shouting Allahu Akbar. They're not gone. They're not gone.
They're not gone. Pedro Sanchez said, oh, all those migrants who came, they have left. They haven't. Of course they haven't.
Sanchez lied to all of you. Nobody was deported. Only the people who wanted to leave left. Everybody who wanted to stay here is still here. And now the storming is...
Imagine that. Imagine if you live in there.
To the central city of Ceuta.
Look at this. So this is a conversation between a Spanish journalist and a soldier. And the soldier says on camera that he's been told not to use any force, don't push them, don't deport them. Just politely request the invaders to go back. The world is upside down, guys. The world is freaking upside down. Imagine you have become so toothless because of your ideological dogma that you are literally being invaded by hostile foreigners who are shouting Allahu Akbar, enemy slogans in your streets, and your soldiers are not allowed to defend your borders. Imagine that. This is the corruption. This is the ideological corruption that can rot the brain of anyone. And the reason why I promised you at the start that this is happening all over the Western world, it's the same ideology, guys. They use everywhere. By the way, they pretend that they care about humanity and they're compassionate and whatnot, but the truth is always more complicated than that. You still have to look at, they are trying to find their most optimum survival, in which case, like if it benefits them politically, sure, then why not pretend to be compassionate? If it benefits them monetarily, oh yeah, sure, why not use this narrative because it benefits me? And on paper, we can tell the world that, hey, we're just being compassionate. We are doing the right thing. And they beat you with that stick while they benefit. By they, I mean, obviously, the people who support this narrative, like, oh, let everyone come in. There are pressure groups within that narrative who are benefiting from this chaos. There are obviously those people who own those hotels in England, in the UK, who get these government contracts worth billions of pounds. So look at this. This is why they say this in Australia, because they're trying to do the same thing here in Australia.
If you look at comments that Angus Taylor has made, things like wanting to claim that someone is less worthy if they don't come from a liberal democracy.
Yeah, like this. Like this. So what's this then? If they're all equal, then what is this? What the hell is this? See, guys? Whether that's Pedro Sanchez in Spain, or it's Anthony Albanese or Tony Burke in Australia, they all of them are following the same narrative. They're all following the same ideological values, which is always going to lead you to this end. That's it. We've been warning you for years that this is spreading. And this is just the most extreme consequence that happened right before our eyes in Ceuta, Spain. And that only happened because 80,000 or 60,000 of them poured into this tiny enclave within a day. That's why it made global headlines. But what about all these people, 200, 300 people who come every single day? I think over 1,000 or 2,000 people come every single day into the UK. Every single day. What about them? So it's going to happen in Australia as well, unless we get rid of these far left fascists. They are far left fascists, all of them. I don't care. I know they used to call everyone far right, and I think I am now starting to call everyone far left. The reason why I'm calling everyone far left, because even if you're moderately left or left of the center, your policies of endless compassion are leading us to this consequence that is becoming more and more apparent. The UK is on fire at the moment. Europe is burning. These globalists, these spreaders of compassion, these people have now started infighting. Ursula von der Leyen has just told off Pedro Sanchez. Pedro Sanchez said, "Oh no, they've all gone back." What do you mean they've all gone back? You said that everyone is welcome. You said it. What do you mean they've gone back? The Spanish Supreme Court has said no one can be deported back. This is the reason why the soldier was saying, "Oh, don't force them back. Just tell them, please go back. This is not your country. Please go back." Yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to explain this. And look at this. Look what he was saying. When Elon Musk mentioned that 3 months ago when he legalized 500,000 illegal migrants, this is what he was saying. Look at him. Look at their body language. Look at their demeanor. They're just drowning in this. They just look at them. They're the most compassionate people.
Just last week, the owner of X, a migrant himself.
A migrant himself. A Western migrant is the same as a Moroccan goat herder. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a fundamental flaw. They cannot understand that because they're like, "Oh, are you being racist?" No, I am being a culturalist. If a white migrant comes from Norway to Australia, it's not the same as someone coming from Afghanistan. We don't have to be racist about that. We have data. Look at this. People from Syria, Iraq, this is the working age population who are welfare dependent. 55% of working age Syrians are welfare dependent in Australia. 52% of Iraqis, so 34% of Lebanese, 33% of Afghans, 28% of Turks. They are welfare dependent. What did we gain out of bringing these people into Australia? What kind of enrichment are they bringing into Australia? On the other hand, look at Germany. When a German moves to Australia, only 11% of them, meaning 89% of them, are contributing to our economy. If they come from the UK, I'm telling you, they're not Mohammeds and Abduls from Bradford or Whitechapel, okay? These are your Toms and Matthews and, classical Brits, because they're the ones who are leaving. White Brits are leaving the UK. And look at the New Zealanders, our closest neighbors. Aussies used to be racist towards Kiwis as well. They used to call them goat shaggers and us sheep shaggers. Goat shaggers is someone else, but look at them. They're so hardworking. 90% of Kiwis who move to Australia, they work. They're not welfare dependent. So here's Pedro Sanchez saying, Elon Musk is a migrant himself, and he's telling us that we shouldn't bring in migrants like these. Look at this. This is Canary Island. Look at this. So Spanish men have come out, and they're fighting them. Guys, this is look, the baseball bats are out. This is it, guys. They are ripping our societies apart. Look at that. They're going out. They're going to hunt those migrants. They're going to keep their neighborhood safe. Like, how can you, if you have a daughter, if you have a child inside, if you have your loved ones, your women, your mother, your sister, your wife, how can you not do anything? These idiots like Pedro Sanchez, yeah, again, they live in their own ivory towers, guys. They don't care. I'm sorry, I refuse to buy that this is only out of compassion. Pedro Sanchez's brother is arrested for corruption. His wife is accused of corruption. Like the whole family is corrupt. Isn't it amazing? All these socialists are multimillionaires, all of them.
Use his personal account to amplify disinformation about the sovereign decision by my government, the regularization of 500,000 migrants that live, work, and contribute to the success of our country.
This is the contribution that they're making. They cannot lie, can they? They just cannot. They just cannot fool us anymore. Because look at this. This is Ceuta, Spain, guys. They are contributing and enriching Spanish society. Look at them. This is what this guy is saying. Look at that. Look at that face. Guys, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, we're just trying to do the right thing. Grow a heart. They're human beings. They're people. What are you why are you so racist? So what if they do this? Let them do it. Come on, you bigot. Off you go. But look, someone wise once said that our lives are the sum of our choices. Actually, Luther the character from Mission Impossible series said it in the last one, in which he died, which is a very good point. Our lives are the sum of our choices. And these are the choices lefty politicians have made, and these are the consequences. So they're going to pay a heavy price for it, which is people are going to turn to the right, and something else is going to come out of it. That's how humanity has always worked, okay? It has always worked that way. So it's getting interested, and I have always predicted that we might dodge the bullet in Australia and maybe some of these other distant countries like Canada. America's too big. But something's going to go down in Europe, okay? I have been saying something might tee off in the UK first. I don't know. Maybe that's my bias because I focus a lot on the UK. But guys, things are heating up in France and Germany, and Spain is leading the list where as a top contender where things might go down first. So very interesting times ahead.